Foodaholics, welcome to another wonderful episode of Foodies and Spice. My name is Gina, and today on the show I'm showing you another very beautiful recipe. I promised you now that this year I'll be giving you hot. So it's time for you to go call your friends, neighbors and everybody. Foodies and Spice is about to start. So today I'm making some deck top akara with very beautiful swagalicious akamu. Yeah. So let's just say I'm making akara and akamu, but it's going to be very beautiful, okay? So for this akara, I'm going to be starting with the akara. I'll be using beans, pepper, crayfish, onions. So let's quickly get to this. First of all, I start by using the food processor to peel the beans. So, but if you have this blender and you don't have a food processor, you can also use your blender to peel the beans. So I'm going to show you how now. So I'll add some water and the beans. Now if you want to be very fast, you may not even want to pick the beans, because when washing the beans, you will get all that chaff out. So you just have to pulse it to peel it gently. And that is fine. The next thing we are going to do now is to rinse it off. Okay, so I'm going to pour it in a bowl now. You can see just 3 pulses and the beans is already peeled. You can see it. So I'll add some water. So it's not the one that you'll be saying, oh, I want to go and do moi moi, I want to go and do akara. And people who are waiting for your food will wait for 5 days or 24 hours. This makes it very, very fast, and you can clean your beans and everything less than 10 minutes. It shouldn't even take you up to 10 minutes. I just did 3 pulses and you can see that the chaff, everything is off. So I'll take a tight sieve now and sieve the shaft, or the skin, the bean skin really, away from the beans. If I do that 2-3 more times, I would have gotten very clean beans and we can begin to blend. Now, after rinsing off the beans, the next thing I'm going to do now is blend it with this blender, and it's going to blend it to a very good puree. Okay, so after you separate the chaff, the next thing you are going to do, remember you did not pick the beans, so there might be stones, so you just have to pour water. After pouring the water, you begin to take the beans from the top, so that way the beans comes up and the stones go down. So that is your fast way of peeling beans for either your akara or moi moi in the morning. It shouldn't take all of your time. It's very easy, especially if you have a good blender to do the job. Alright, so I've just added the beans and some water into the blender, and the next thing I'm going to do is to start blending. Okay, so time to check these beans, the verdict time. This is so smooth, like I am being very honest. I did not even blend this thing for up to 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and it's this smooth, extremely smooth. This is beautiful. So it's time for me to blend the onions and the pepper. Pepper, always use pepper according to your taste. And I have crayfish here. As much as you want, it's fine, but not so much really. You don't have to add a lot of liquid into your akara. Unlike when you're cooking moi moi, you can add a little bit more liquid, but for akara, very little liquid. So because of that, when you want to blend your pepper and onions separately, you can use the already blended beans to blend it. So I'm actually pulsing. I'm actually pulsing because I do not want it to blend completely smooth. So I'm just pulsing for a bit. Okay, so that is fine. Right now, I'm going to start mixing my beans puree for the akara. All right, so I have my perfectly blended beans here with the onions, pepper, and crayfish. And one thing you must know is when you blend your beans for akara, it must not be runny. For those of you who write me and say, oh, how do I get a perfect akara? How you actually need to start is by making sure that you blend it not to be too watery. That is a good start point. All right, so I have this here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to add some salt to that. Salt according to your taste, and I'll be using about 2 seasoning cubes for this beans puree. Now, one thing you must know is whatever you are doing, once you don't reach all this kind of puree thing, the best thing for you to do is to mix and taste. Don't say because it's raw beans, because if the taste not good like this and you start to cook them, when you don't cook and finish or when you don't fry and finish, you cannot adjust the taste. So mix, 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 and make sure you taste. Okay, so it's properly mixed, and the thing I'm going to do now is to taste it like I told you. And yum, perfect. This is perfect. If you don't taste it and you bring a bland akara, no, you have to taste. All right? Okay. This fish is not a joke. I told you I'm making decked up akara, and I'm decking this akara up with smoked fish. Usually I have seen people add liver. Sometimes I get to add sausages to my akara, but I just want to add smoked fish today to this one to, take it from 99% to 157%. Yeah, all right, let's do this. So I'm adding my oil into the pan now. And make sure you add a generous amount of oil because you need that akara to float to the top. So a generous amount of oil will do. All right, so my oil is hot now, and I'm just going to scoop my akara. I'm going to be using this tablespoon. I'll scoop it and take fish alongside for that extra yumminess. So my akara is looking very beautiful and golden. This is so nice. So we are just going to allow it, cook properly. We are not looking for brown. We are looking for golden, going to a little bit brown. That means it's done. Like these ones here now, they are almost done, if not done. The next thing I'm going to do now is line a plate with a paper towel, and I will drain it. This is very beautiful already. You can see the fish sticking out. It's so beautiful. You can add sausages to your akara, you can add liver, you can add meat, but today I'm adding smoked fish, and it's really lovely. You can also add crayfish to your akara. Yeah, the fat prawns or fat crayfish. So this is lovely. I'm going to start packing them now. All right, this is very beautiful now. That golden yellow brownish hue we are looking for. This is so good. So the next thing I'm going to do now is for this akara, I like to eat my akara with bread. I also like to eat it with pap. Now my son, one of my twin sons, he's a pap fan. He really loves pap. Now let me show you a beautiful swagged up way you can serve your pap. So to do this, my akamu, I always tell people there are 2 ways. You can boil the water, mix your corn flour or the akamu in cold water, and you pour your hot water on it till it thickens, stir till it thickens. Or you can just start by adding water in your pot. Just before it starts simmering, you put the amount of the corn flour that you want in it. I have about 3 tablespoons there. And you begin to stir until it thickens. So we allow this one thicken now for a while. So akamu is quite easy. Any of the styles you prefer. Boil the water first, pour into your dissolved akamu, or you do this style. All right, so my pap is ready. This looks good. So time for us to eat. Food done, my akara done, pap done. Ijebu gari done ready too for my guests. It's time for us to go and eat this food. Food done.
Wow. Wow, this is nice. This is nice. I like the fact that the fish, you know, came out well. Pepper came out well. You know, and everything. Come on, this is nice. This is a creative one.
Try frying your akara with smoked fish if you've never tried it before. It's very lovely.
Wow.
Thank you all so much. You guys are wonderful. Let's continue to enjoy our akamu as you watch us at home. God bless you. I love you so much. See you next week.